On July 16, 1945, the United States government executed Project Trinity. Project Trinity was the first nuclear weapon test in history taking place in the New Mexican desert. The military, specifically the Army, was in charge of conducting this weapons test, ensuring they found a completely secluded location to do so, a place with virtually no inhabitants. What the Army failed to do was completely check each and every cave and ravine in the desolate wasteland. But we'll come back to that soon enough. Let me tell you a different story in order to set the proper mood. This is a story of what happens when things don't go according to plan. There are certain times in history when a baby is born different than the rest. Some are naturally more intelligent. Some are simply more attractive. Some, however, have differences that are not appealing. Extra fingers or toes. For example, the lack of an eye, a humpback. All these things are often called mutations by the modern world. Back in the 1930s, 40s, and 50s, mutants were the pariah of society. Parents would abandon them at churches. People would jeer and spit at them as they passed by. It was the it was only in solitudes or in groups of similar persons that they found peace. Commun- Communes began springing up in different parts of the country, secluded parts of the all secluded parts of the country, such as deserts, underground caves, or small islands of the coast. These were refuges for the outcasts of society. That all that all changed in 1945. 1945. Project Trinity was the starting point for a couple significant things. Obviously, it was a trigger to the end of World War II and the massive arms race against the Soviet Union during the Cold War. It was also the beginning of a massive genocide never you may otherwise never known about. Near the blast site of the Trinity was a community of 45 mutants. All of them were killed instantly by the destructive power unleashed by this first successful blast in 1946. There were two more test fires on a commune in the Marshall Islands in 1951. Another blast in the Pacific regions. Severe severe radiation sickness and death to another large group of mutants. 1952 Operation Ivy Mike killed over 150 mutants on another small Pacific island another small Pacific island. The final documented test with destination took place on March 1st, 1954. This blast, codenamed Castle Bravo, was the most detrimental of all. After discovering that many mutants had moved back to the Marshall Islands, the government decided it was time to make their point finalized. They detonated a 15-megaton bomb in a shallow water just off the island shore. Radioactive water vapor and bits of metal entered the atmosphere around the island and fell back onto its shores. The death toll was nearly 220 mutants. Men, women, and children all suffered from radiation sickness. Many developed cancer and spent the rest of their short lives in pain. The lucky ones were killed by falling bits of metal from the sky. What the government doesn't know is that some mutants, not many, but some of us, survived.